Tuesday morning, everybody. This is Grace, and I'm going to try to keep to my word that at least once a week I want to tell some of my spooky stories from things that have happened to me or stories I heard. And this one is actually something that happened to me. Even though it happened to me, I still have a difficult time thinking about, believing really in the paranormal, ghosts, UFOs, things like that. But I'm going to tell the story anyway. And I've mentioned before that my mother, she was very into UFOs and aliens and ghosts and hauntings along that line. So I was raised hearing about it in my whole, childhood. And I think, basically until her dementia became too bad. So she passed away a couple of years ago. So anyway, this story, and I probably will, before I forget, I'll probably speed this up, the video, so you'll hear my voice is faster because it's going to be a long story. So, now my experience was in Waxahachie, Texas, and I had to look it up to make sure I had it right. It's the Rogers Hotel. I keep thinking motel for some reason. And it's a historic hotel. Little did I know. I didn't know much about it. I just knew about Waxahachie. Why do I keep messing that word up? Waxahachie. I give up. Okay, I have said the name of that town my whole life. I've said it right, and for some reason, I can't say it right now. So, anyway, my experience there was about, I think it was 3 years ago. Now, I've done a video on it on my main channel before, and really, I'm worried I might rewrite history because when I'm thinking about it now, I'm thinking about things that I didn't mention and seeing it in a little bit in a different way. But basically, it was about 3 years ago, and I went to Waxahachie, and hey, I said it right. I had a friend there, a male friend, and he was going, he was showing me around the historic district, the houses. We drove around for a while. Then we went to the, the town hall, I think, yeah. And we looked at that, and he told me some stories about it and all this. My mother, she had attended college there, Bible college. It was a Bible college back then, but now it's a university. And but she only attended a year. And that's where she met, what's his name? I can't remember. The one that plays the piano. Anyway, she always told stories about the place. But never any kind of, which was odd, she never told any spooky stories, And she was so much about, spooky stories. So anyway, so I didn't know. I didn't know about this. We had walked around that town hall on the outside. It was hot and everything outside. And so finally we went to that Rogers Hotel because I wanted to see that too. And right when I walked in the door, I think it was a safe or something, like in the foyer. And that safe gave me I had a weird feeling, just an odd feeling. Now I suffer from anxiety or panic attacks. And, just something still felt weird. Now we had been walking around for, driving and walking. So I asked him, the guy that I was with, where was the restroom? He told me it was downstairs in the basement. So we walked on in, to the building, and I really just kept, I was looking around just that entrance area, and I kept getting weird feelings, just, you can call them vibes, weird vibes, and I didn't understand. I just didn't really understand. So he showed me, where the steps were to go down into the basement. At least that's how I remember it now. So it was kind of like, they were real narrow, and like you're very closed in. And so I walked down there, and he said it's at the bottom, right there. So I walked in, and I saw, here's the ladies' room. Okay, so he just stayed, went downstairs to the basement with me, just stayed there, waiting for me outside. And when I opened up the door, there was a long hall. It was, again, closed in. It seemed like a long hall to go to the restroom. From the basement, go down the stairs, there's a little area, then there's a door. I walked down open that door, walked to another door, and open that long hall, and then there's the restroom. So when I got in there, into the restroom, immediately I had again, more eerie feelings. Like it was very spooky. And I think it had 3 stalls, I think. And I opened up one, and it looked like somebody had taken a big bite out of the seat. In the middle, I think it was the middle one. And it was just like, what? It just looked like a big bite. But immediately, I started having these like little videos playing in my mind. And one of them was of a chambermaid, I guess you call it chambermaid. And what I was thinking about this morning, I really noticed how she was dressed in that, in that video that was going in my mind. She was dressed like a chambermaid. She was, and it was the era when I would think right after slavery. And she was trying to, because, I'm white, she had a fear of telling me something. Yet at the same time, she wanted to. She would use facial expressions. And it was basically to beware. And and I was like, kind of freaked about that, what was going on. And I was certainly freaked about why was I having these, these like little movies playing in my head. And then, it was apparently they were having a raid. It was like then it became like the 1920s, and people were, or whenever, I don't know what era it was, it was illegal. They were having illegal activity in the hotel, and people were, males and females, were trying to sneak out the back door that was in the bathroom. There was no back door in that bathroom, so, but they're not in where I was. Could have been back then. And they were sneaking out, and they were looking at me, and they were kind of laughing, and males, females, they were dressed like the Roaring Twenties or whatever it was, and they were kind of laughing and kind of trying to tell me the same thing, to get out of there. And I mean, this was like I said, little movies playing in my head. It was totally freaking me out, because I don't think I've ever had that at any kind of place ever. Something, that whole total feeling. I've had thoughts before. I was wondering why I was having them, but very seldom. But still, in a place. But anyway, I really cannot remember having feelings like that. Like little movies about a different era, is what I should say. So, I had been walking around town, all that kind of stuff, so I hurried up as fast because this was freaking me out, totally freaking me out. And got out there, barely had time to, really quickly wash my hands, and everything was saying, get out of there, get out of there, get out of there, over and over and over, get out of there. So I go through the door that's going to take me to that hallway that then is going to take me to the outside area of this restroom. So I opened up the door, and that hall, I am serious, here I am between two doors. And that hall just seemed so long, so very, very long. And it was always, I was having to walk really hard to push myself, like something was pulling me back in. But I was fighting it, and I was walking really hard. And, I don't know how you would say it, like, somebody's in slow motion, but they're really working hard to go in some direction. And I finally made it out of the second door, which brought me to where my male friend was standing and waiting. I was probably white as a sheet, And I got out of there, and I said, I can't believe what just happened. And I told him about it. He stood there like his face was turning white, kind of thing. And he said, you do know that this is a haunted hotel, right? And I said, what? And he said, yeah, this is known as a haunted hotel. And I said, and I let him know, I said, I don't believe in this stuff, but my experience, and he kind of laughed, and he said, yeah, he had told me, then he told me some more of the stories, but he kind of had them wrong. Because after that, I found, like whenever I finally decided to check online, there is something with the Star Telegram about Rogers Hotel. And it's a whole website, and if it's still up, it's so very neat because, other people's experiences there, they talk about them and all that. Well, anyway, get back to him, this with him. He wanted to show me around, go upstairs and all this stuff. I said, no, I have to get out of this hotel. I have to. I can't. I've never been, I've had anxiety and panic attacks and need to get out, but this was something totally different. It was like, get out of there. So he was like, kind of laughing, and he, then he told me about his young daughter had a similar experience, but hers was in the second floor. So, basically, I don't remember the story he told me about her. Basically, I think she heard noises or something. Anyway, I got out of there. I got him to get out of there, and I have never returned. And I have been back to Waxahachie, and I got kind of lost on the road. And the next thing I know, I look over, and there is the hotel. And it's like, oh no, you're not pulling me back in. Not going to happen. Never. No. Okay, well, anyway, that second time was the next year I went back there. And I have not been back since. Seriously. I don't think haven't been back. But after that, and after that, I think the first time, I told my mom about it, and I told her that I really liked that area and all, and she had dementia. She was, pretty far gone. And she kept mumbling to me to not go there, And I guess it could have been after the second time, but no, the second time I went, it was after she passed, right after she passed. It was kind of like a trip for her, or right before she did. I don't know. She was in the hospital for a while. But she was telling me to not go there, to not, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't really know why she did and why she told me that. But like I said, I still have a difficulty. And I've had other experiences along this line, but that was probably the biggest one. And but I still have a difficult time believing in paranormal. And the way I summed it up in my mind was that I was just picking up, knowing what the history could have been. I don't get the eras right, but knowing what could have happened there, what could have been a situation there. Somebody, those people, they were there gambling and drinking or whatever was illegal back then, or both. and they were doing it, and so they were getting out the back way, and that could have happened. So my overactive imagination just put a little story in my head. So because the bathroom was like something you would think back in that era, because it is the hotel. So anyway, that's enough on this for now. And I might have told this story. I know I told the story on my main channel, and I thought about doing it again, thinking I hadn't, but I had. And I make videos, and then I don't put them up, and some of them I discard, some of them I don't. So I really wouldn't know if I'm repeating myself because of that. Anyway, plus I'm 53 years old. Yeah. All right, enough on this for now. And I do plan on keeping to my word, but we'll see what happens. Once a week. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.